It's been particularly frustrating over the last few days watching the government thrashing about looking for ways to tax property, which they always consider to be an easy way of getting money. And it's not just this government, to be fair, it's lots of different coloured governments over the last 25 years that have buggered about with stamp duty and have gummed up the top end of the market. There are lots of other reasons why it's becoming gummed up. But the fact of the matter is, people moving and having a mobile economy has always been incredibly important. And this government seems to be stopping people employing in the first place with increases in national insurance charges. And I mean, here at Vuber, it's the costs we've had to pay, the equivalent of employing two people. So we haven't employed those two people. So how on earth anyone thinks this is a good thing? But that's another story entirely. If you tax people on property and stop them moving, and by the way, how unbelievably unfair is it if you paid stamp duty on your property when you bought it, you're highly likely to have to pay this new tax if and when they do it. But it's always the same, that people imagine that this is a big piggy bank to be raided and that most people won't worry, which is why they're talking about 1 million, 1.5, or 500,000, 1.5 million thresholds. But it's the people who buy those sort of properties and won't be moving as much who spend money in the economy. And indeed, just because you gum up the top end of the market, it means you're also going to create problems further down the market. People won't move as much. And it's when people move that you create employment. People go in, decorate places, they need moving, they need solicitors, they need surveyors. How on earth this government thinks that by taxing people and making moves happen less often, that's going to bring them more money? I just don't understand it. I've often said that the ideal way, and I would pay this, including on my own principal residence if I sold it, a 20% tax, so long as the 20% tax applied to everything. Just do everything, flat rate 20%. People would pay it. Most accountants would be out of a job overnight because life would be incredibly simple. I accept that that's difficult, but it has to be costed. But why isn't someone looking at that and just... It happens in some other countries, and to the best of my knowledge, it's been a success because people pay it. But I think this issue of looking at property as a piggy bank is quite staggeringly irritating, and it has to stop. It's not something which is going to help with employment and social mobility, people wanting to move around as and when they want to move around, creating employment in the locale where they're selling and buying. It's so important, and I just wish this government would understand how important it is and stop looking at it as a big piggy bank to raid. It's not, and this needs to stop.